Hi, I'm Joyce, and I'm a cougar. I am so excited to invite you to my new YouTube channel, Real American Cougar, today. I have a lot to tell you and a lot to share with you, and I'm going to tell you how it all started out for me. Through my life, different things have happened, different changes have happened, and I ended up being a mature woman who still dates. Happens to a lot of us, for a lot of different reasons. How I started to find out that I was actually a cougar was that I had friends and family call me a cougar. And I thought, what are they calling me? I better look at this and see what this is. So I went on YouTube and Googled, if we're allowed to say YouTube and Googled, but I looked up some information about cougars. And I'll tell you what, it starts a long time back. I'm going to go over some cougar history with you. But before I do that, I just want to let you know how excited I am that you're watching this very first episode with me. This is so special. This is my very first time. It's been a long time since I could say that, kids. And I am so excited that you are sharing this first time with me. You are one, if you like my channel and subscribe to my channel, you're going to be one of my charter cougars and cougar lovers of all cougars and cougarettes. And we'll have a lot in common, I'm sure. But let me get right to our show today. The episode today is, where did all this come from? And what is it really like? And how has this evolved? So this happened starting back about 1950. Let's go back. And I have lived through all these years, so I can personally attest to you. These are some of the things that have happened. So in 1950, it was the all-American family. There was mom, dad, a boy, a girl, a dog, a cat. It was the ideal. Everybody wanted that ideal 1950s perfect family. And there were roles. The men had a role, the women had a role, the daughter, the son, and you were expected to carry out all these rules just so perfectly and so ideally, and everything was just so squeaky clean that by the 1960s, people were just sick of it. They were just sick of a regimented lifestyle, and especially people who had different circumstances in their life where they couldn't conform to this lifestyle. In the 1960s, for example, there were taboos that we wouldn't even think of anymore. Being divorced was a taboo in the 1960s. A divorced woman was somebody who was sometimes less of a person or looked down on. Absolutely, there was no premarital sex. There was no being pregnant and having children and not being married, go hide yourself, get thee to a nunnery. There was none of that back then. So in the 60s, things started to change, and people started to be who they were and voice out their opinions on certain things. Absolutely, there was a song, a country western song in 1968. Maybe some of you will remember it. Some of you weren't even around in 1968. But it was a song by Jeannie C. Riley, and it was called Harper Valley PTA. And it talks about this young girl is a school-age girl, and her mother is divorced, and she doesn't like what the school board and the people around in the school district are saying about her, how she's an unfit mother, and she wears her miniskirt right in the room, and she tells them all off. And that was 1968. So that's when rules started changing, and even the music industry got into it, letting people know that this isn't always the case. If you see someone who isn't with someone, who's divorced or has a child, there's not a lot wrong with that, depending on that person's situation. In 1970s, things were changing in the 60s, so in the 70s, they just went all out with it. That was the years of free love. Everything was changing then. People were more open about sex in 1950. I don't even think they could say the word sex. I know my parents couldn't say the word sex. But 1970s was the free love generation. It did not matter. There were love-ins. There wasn't a lot of birth control at that time. There wasn't a lot of protection for people who just wanted a sexual relationship. And there was more about casual sexual relationships in the 70s. So things started getting a little looser. We're not back at the 50s where we were all squeaky clean. So women of all ages were dating. And they were dating men of all ages. Men of all ages were dating women of all ages. People were getting together as far as heterosexual homosexual, the sexual revolution had just really boomed in the 1970s. So then we get up to about 1980, and I find out that cougar, the name cougar was coined by a team, a sports team, the Vancouver Canucks, a hockey team from Vancouver, Canada, which I guess the hockey team back then, they were like, it was like the NBA is today. It was like everybody loved them. They were the biggest sport around. They thought that older women came to see them play and to hook up with the much younger players of the team. So they coined the phrase cougar. Now I wondered what a Canuck was. So I thought, is it some kind of little fuzzy animal? Oh, that's cute, the Canucks. So I looked it up, and the Canuck word is actually, it's kind of a slang word for Canadians, but it is a USA slang derogatory term for Canadians, especially French Canadians. So they are the Canucks. That's what their name came from, as far as I know. That's where cougar came from, as far as I know. So that started the whole cougar thing. I don't think there really was a word that said cougar before that, but that's when the word came out. Up into the 1990s, things went from 1980s into the 1990s, and I found out that there became cougar dating sites, cougar porn channels, anything to make some money, I guess, but people were riding on this cougar thing. They decided that they were going to make this thing the ultimate bad girl image, the ultimate bad lady image. So they started riding on that, making money off of that. So that's like basically what we've heard of cougars is a woman who is a certain age who wants to go, puts herself out there in bars and clubs and tries to look great and does everything they can to look younger and wear younger clothes and pick up young men and have sex with them, which sounds kind of derogatory and sounds pretty much predator to me. And the people that I've talked with, and myself alone, I'm certainly not a predator. I do like to go out. I do like to meet people and have intelligent conversations. But I don't feel that everyone considered a cougar by age group, we'll get into that, is a predator for young men to have sex with, for heaven's sake. There's not as much sex involved as anybody would want to think, but if you want to think that, go right ahead and, hey, enjoy yourself. There are 3 types of cougars that I found out about. There's the alpha cougar, and the alpha is the strong, independent, well-heeled, already has a life of their own, very confident, knows what they want to get out of life, but they haven't actually taken the time maybe to create the relationship that was going to last them for the rest of their life. So they're still mature women who are out there looking to date. Then there are the beta cougars. The beta cougars are people who had circumstances in their life, didn't create attachments very well. They are more independent, not always well-heeled and where they want to be in life financially or in whatever status they're seeking. They want to be liked. So they are attracted to men who are younger, humorous, more playful. They can relate to these people and kind of follow them and do what they want to do and be liked. That's the beta cougar. They look for relationships in which they will be liked. Then there is the sweet, angry cougar. Now, I'm not sure what that is. I'm thinking that sweet, angry, that could really describe a lot of women. I mean, a lot of bitchy women. I'm not sure, but those are the 3 types of cougars. I'm not sure which one I am. I like to think I'm the alpha. I like to think I'm the alpha cougar and in control and independent and got my own thing going on. And I do. You'll hear more about that later. I'll let you know about my experience. But right now we're just talking in general about general terms. There are 3 names according to ages for cougars. I didn't know that. The young 35 to 40-year-olds, well, maybe 30 to 35-year-olds, a little younger. They're called cubs. Makes sense. Anyone who is around 40 to 50s, they're considered cougars. 40 to 50 cougars. Then there is the 50 and up bracket, which I'm in the 50 and up bracket, and they are called jaguars. Ha! I'm a jaguar, guys. So there's 3 different types of, according to age group. The age group considered is 35 to 55. That's considered to be in the cougar range. Some people say 30 to 33 can be cougars. I'm saying, what the fuck? 30 years old, you baby. You don't even know what you're doing. I think that 40 years old. I think at 40, you've been through enough that you can call yourself a cougar or fit into that bracket. I also found out that there are male cougars. They're the opposite of female cougars. Male cougars like to date much younger women, and that seems to be a lot of the social norm. Older women that want to date younger men aren't as accepted as the older men that date younger women. I think it's coming along, but male cougars are called manthers. Manthers! So all this pretty much pertains to what social norms you grew up with. They think that cougars, I'm saying the general consensus from what I have researched, they are hypersexual losers. They're always looking for sex to validate themselves. They're always looking to make themselves look younger, go to the gym, get plastic surgery, take every supplement there is, diet all the time, try to stay slim. That's too much work for me, actually. I enjoy dating younger men. I enjoy my cougar lifestyle. I don't have to make commitments if I don't want to. I don't have to do anything I don't want to. I don't have to go to the gym. I don't have to have plastic surgery. I don't have to go on diets. I'm very comfortable with how I look. I think that for a mature woman, I think I've got it going on. Let me know what you think. If you don't, fine, let me know. But there's just so many aspects of the cougar stigma that don't fit real cougars. I've talked to friends of mine, women who are still mature women that date, women who are married and married to younger women, and I've discussed what I found out, what I've researched, and all the different things that cougars are supposed to do, like dress much younger than they are to try to attract men, wear a lot of makeup, try to make themselves look like something they're not. I can't do that. There's a lot of things with the stereotype cougar image that I don't agree with, and a lot of my friends don't agree with. So we decided that it would be nice to be able to talk about these things. And the more I thought about it, the more I thought, well, there needs to be a platform for mature people who still date to be able to talk about their experiences, to be able to ask questions, to be able to discuss things. And I'd like to make this a platform where people can discuss things, tell their stories, tell me what you think about the cougar stereotype, why it fits you, why it doesn't. I want to be able to answer questions. I've got a lot of experience in this area because, like I said, I'm a cougar. And just get people together that want to talk. I look forward to having absolutely live shows where I have interviews with people. I already have 10 or so people that want to be interviewed on the show about their experiences with cougars, as cougars. You're going to hear real stories from these people. My next episode, we're going to talk about my story and how I got to be where I'm at. We'll go over some of the social norms and things that are really a little more acceptable these days than they used to be years ago. This is just a background about how the cougar lifestyle came about. I found out that I was a member of a subculture that I really didn't realize that existed. And when I found out what people thought about that and what people think of first, I wasn't really in agreement with that. And I've talked to other friends of mine, and I told them what I had researched and what I found out, and they were like, "What?" And I was like, "Right." And I talked to women, they were like, "What?" I talked to men, and they were like, "Yeah." Well, you'll have those. But there are men and women that understand this subculture, cougar subculture. Not a lot is known about it because the number one rule of cougars is be discreet. So you don't know a whole lot about what is going on with the cougar culture. But we're going to make a platform here where people can talk about it, they can tell their stories, how they got to where they are, how they became a cougar. I don't think anyone actually decides to be one. I think that things happen in your life that lead you in the direction where you go, and you end up where you are, and you just make the best of it. So we're going to talk with people about what brought them to be a cougar or to be a lover of cougars, and what their experiences were, what they got out of it, what they didn't like about it. There's all kinds of information that you can look at on YouTube and on Google, but they don't really show a real life experience. So I want to share with you my real life experience and the real life experience of some other people. There's all kinds of information. If you want to try to bone up, there is a place you can look up on Google that tells you how to know if a woman is a cougar. There are 12 steps to knowing how a woman is a cougar, and I'll tell you, if you think you know a cougar and you think you can handle one and you want to go out with one, you might need a 12-step program after that. But there's all kinds of information on there. I like to feel I'm a confident, mature, well-established, intelligent person who is out looking for other confident, mature, well-established, intelligent men and other people to talk with. Rarely involves sex. So we're going to talk about all these things. This platform, I want to tell you right now what it isn't. This is a no names named talk show. This is a non-political show. It is non-judgmental. If you come to tell your story or you comment, you ask questions, you want me to answer them, I'm going to do it in a non-judgmental way because everyone's life is different. Everyone got to where they are in many different ways. We're not going to talk politics. We're not going to put anybody down because whatever has happened to them or what have they do is not for me to say. And I'd appreciate if you felt that way too. So that's what I'm working towards, just having a nice flat platform here where people can come and talk about their experiences, talk about their cougar culture, share with people what it's really like. You'll be able to contact me if you want to comment below. You're able to comment below my video. If you want to get a hold of me, I have a Gmail where you can, if you don't want to put comments, if what you want to talk to is more personal and you would like to talk to me on your own, you can send me an email at racmatureculture@gmail.com. If you want to message me on Facebook, I'll also have a Facebook page. It's up and running now. Like the page. Give me a message. That's at Real American Cougar on Facebook. So you can watch what's going on. We'll let you know about the different things that are happening. We're going to have so many fun things happening. We're going to have trivia. We're going to have sweepstakes. I want to plug some local businesses. I want to help people keep their businesses going and let you all know what we got here in town. This first episode, by the way, I'll tell you, is brought to you by the Lost Recording Studio in beautiful Jamestown, New York. I want to thank Ron and Derek. They're the best staff I could ever have. Without them, I could have never got this off the ground, and I'm so happy to be doing this, and I'm happy to have you be part of this. So please leave comments, and please leave messages. I will respond to every one of them. Thank you, guys. Peace out.